Why do people stare at themselves in the mirrors? Does the amount of time doing it mean anything? What's so special about our own reflection? Well, let's figure it out. Growing up, I often found myself looking at my reflection in every mirror I came across. The house I've been raised in has a mirror in pretty much every single room and hallway, so it was kind of inevitable for me to not see my reflection everywhere I went. It kinda made me develop some sort of BDD, but that's not the rabbit hole we're about to jump into. I used to sit down in front of a mirror and look at myself for a long time. Pretty similar to this. If you're someone who plays or has played VRChat, there's a 100% chance that you've seen it. I get asked about this behavior that's become commonplace in VRChat a lot, and I'm quite sure that at some point when you started playing, you asked yourself the same question: why do people do this? Thing is, people start asking themselves this question but never bother to find the answers, and end up accepting the action of staring at yourself in the mirrors as the status quo of VRChat. Which it is. In fact, I haven't seen a single YouTube video tackling this phenomenon, so I guess there's a first time for everything. I am no stranger to this though. At first, when I was a visitor role, when I was trying to familiarize myself with the game and the community, I also began questioning myself the same thing. But as I got more and more into the game, I subconsciously accepted it. It simply stopped bothering me, but the thought was always there, at the back of my head. If VRChat, or at least its concept, is to bring people closer, therefore inciting interactions, then why the f do some people choose to look at mirrors instead?
I kind of hate the people who hate on people who look at mirrors. Mirror watching is not something I enjoy a huge amount of, but it's how some people enjoy VRChat. And if that's what they like, you don't need to hate on them about it. They aren't hurting you by doing it. So just take a chill pill.
Here's the thing, there's not a reason as to why people do this. There's a lot, actually. I'm going to explain the more technical and obvious reasons first if we want to get anywhere. Even if you don't own a VR headset, we can all agree that virtual reality is supposed to make you feel as immersed as possible. When you turn on a mirror and look at the reflection, you're seeing yourself, and not at the same time. Looking at the avatar you're using match your movements and react in certain ways to your will convinces you to an extent that that avatar is you. And if you have full body tracking, well, that opens up a whole new world of possibilities. My favorite one being dancing.
I feel like with VR headsets, sometimes you can't see too well things that are on your left or your right, and it's hard to keep track of the people you're speaking to sometimes because they move around, they do other things. If you go in front of the mirror and like almost everybody's in there, you can kind of keep tracking like of everybody in the room.
I think this is the most general reason as to why people gather at mirrors. You can only look at so many people at once. What you can perceive is limited by your center of attention. On top of that, our field of view can only cover so much space. However, by looking into a mirror, not only can you focus in a lot more at once, you can also see how others see you, giving you a higher level of awareness. If someone is behind you, you don't even have to move to focus on them. Interacting via a mirror, instead of doing it face to face.
I'm not exactly the best person at looking people in the eyes. It starts to really make me feel uncomfortable. But if I'm looking at their eyes indirectly through the mirror, it makes me feel better. Whenever we're all talking in front of the mirror together, instead of looking directly at them, I'll be looking in a general direction in the mirror, and usually people can tell that I'm looking at them through that.
I don't have anything against people that watch mirrors. I just think they're boring. That's probably the best word I could think of. They're the more boring VRChat players that I've noticed. I don't want to spend hours looking at a mirror. I want to talk to actual people. For me, I see practicality. If I don't need it, I don't really have an interest in it. Unless I want to work on this, I don't really have much of a reason to look at it. I'd rather enjoy the other people or other people's work in their avatars. Like if I'm staring at a wall, I can't notice the fine details. I might not be able to read like a text on your shirt or notice how the bandages are textures, something like that. I can't see those fine details if I'm staring at the wall. I want to enjoy good art and good people. A wall is not art and not people most of the time. If a wall becomes a person, you got issues.
There's other reasons people use mirrors for that are pretty self-explanatory, like avatar creation and adjusting trackers. But what about them? The people that just sit down and stare at themselves for a long time without interacting. They aren't hanging out with anyone in particular. They're barely moving. They're not talking. Just staring. I mentioned earlier that the concept of VRChat is to have a virtual platform where people can come together and interact with each other inside virtual worlds. There's a lot of people in this game who are really shy and are incapable of starting a conversation on their own. However, this does not stop them from playing the game. So, what do? Sit quietly in front of a mirror and wait for someone else to come by and join them. It's a self-fulfilling cycle, really. Mirrors have been the hotspot of VR worlds for a long time, and because of that, it's normal to be in front of one for a long time. So naturally, some people will go find the mirror when they load into a world, where they will find the people I just mentioned.
Well, I do think that they are a prime place for people to hang out, mostly because most worlds have a mirror. Therefore, most people tend to go to what they are used to, and if they see that that's the thing that is everywhere, they just tend to go there. And if most people go there and you want to talk to people, that's where you end up being. So it creates this loop of just people that just go in front of mirrors because others do. And it kind of leads to everybody being there at one point. That's the feeling I get.
My reason for staring into a mirror is kind of disassociating myself from my real body and getting more used to the fake one, in a way. Basically, it helps me to accept what I'm seeing in the mirror is me, rather than just a headset, an overlay over my extremities, I guess. Even though I'm looking here into a mirror and accepting that as my new form, I have learned to accept myself more in the mirror in the real life. Before VRChat, when I had it really bad, when I also went through depression, that kind of shit, it was looking at me, but something in my brain kind of going, not that isn't you, but that isn't what you want to be. So kind of looking at it and just genuinely being not only just upset, but more aware of, I wish I could just escape that I wish I could change everything about what I'm seeing. It's like picking a bad avatar in VRChat and going, oh no, I really don't want that, let me out. That's the best way I can describe it, honestly.
Why do people stare into the mirrors? We now know that it's a subjective thing. Every person has their own reason. Yes, some of these reasons might overlap with others, but that's still hundreds of answers I can't put into a single video. I can only speak for myself. So, here's my reason. I'm not the type of person to rush to a mirror when I enter a VRChat world. I don't find the idea of being in front of one for a long time appealing at this point in my life. I might join the people who are doing it if the conversation happens to be taking place in front of a mirror, but I also stop to look at my reflection from time to time, in a more subtle way. When I'm in the middle of a conversation, I often glance over my shoulder towards the mirror. Why? It's to affirm the reality of the moment. Sometimes when I'm playing this game, I find myself slipping in and out of all kinds of situations without being noticed by anyone. When I walk around the world, around groups of people, I tend to do this odd thing where I go to a high place in the world I'm in and look at the people interact with each other, the scenery. When I'm up there, I disassociate. It doesn't feel like I'm here, despite being physically here. Well, virtually here. Mentally, I'm somewhere else, My mind detaches from my body, making me feel like I'm not real despite being aware of the things that are going on around me. Kind of like a ghost. When this happens, I stay up there for the remainder of my time in VR. Looking at everyone and everything. The conversations I can overhear start to sound muffled. The people in the world seem to blend into it like they're a part of it. Everything gets so blurry, it's like I don't want to be here. And then I take off the headset. Even in a VR world, where you can be anything you want, be anywhere you want, I still can't connect with people. Because I can't help disconnecting from myself. This is why I may stand on a mirror for a while. It's to prevent what I just told you from happening. I'm lucky to be one of the most optimistic people I know. Thanks to that, I have hope. Hope for the future. Hope for the people. Hope for the world. Hope for you. Despite all of the unfortunate things that have happened in the world recently, I still have high hopes for reality. There's a lot of people that I'm extremely grateful for that reinforce that belief, and because of that, no matter what happens to us, to our ecosystems, to our future, to Earth, I still want to be a part of it, no matter how bad it gets. I just hope someone out there shares these sentiments. And the mirror? To me, the mirror is an anchor to reality. It shows me something real. It affirms it. It reminds me that if I do an action, there will be a reaction. It's a constant reminder that if I speak, someone will hear my words. That if I wave at someone, they will see it and might even wave back. It reminds me that I'm real. And that right now, I'm here. That was my reason. What's yours?
It's nice to look good. It's nice to know, to look in a mirror and see and like what you see.
I like to look at the avatar just as I'm speaking. It's something that I like to do. I mean, I worked hard on the avatar, or I did something with it, so I want to make sure I can see it, because it's supposed to be a reflection of myself.
This was the first time that I was able to not only see the ideal me, but it was me.
And sometimes in real life, you can't get that. Sometimes in real life, you don't like the way your face looks, or you've got acne going on, or you've got a scar, or, just different things about your body can be things you don't like.
Again, my avatar is an expression of how I am. I like to be cute. It's very hard for me to be cute when you're a 6-foot tall black man.
It's relieving in a sense, because it completely got rid of any anxiety that my body gave me, which is why I grew a lot more confident, and I kind of went from an introvert to almost an extrovert at this point, even in real life, because I was able to work on my confidence and on how I approach situations without any of this anxiety and weight that my body dysphoria basically laid on my shoulders and made me carry.
In VRChat, getting a new look is as simple as putting on a new set of clothes, basically by equipping a new avatar. And so it's really nice to just, oh hey, I look great today. Let me flex a little, yeah, I look good. And then go interact with my friends.
I've learned to accept myself more in the mirror in the real life, which I can only assume has something to do with the fact that I can now just be what I want. So I don't look at it as, oh, I'm forced to be that. It's more, hey, this is my form in the real world, and I need to do my best with it.
You actually got to the end of the video. Great, you're gonna win a cookie or some sh. I just wanted to take a moment to thank everybody who made it to the end of the video, and my Patreons. My Patreons are actually goated. Like, not only are they supporting me so much already, they are they are so patient with me. It's insane. I just wanted to give a special thanks, a shout out to my Patreons. I could go on and ramble about how your support means a lot to me, and oh yeah, get dramatic and stuff, but your support helped me a lot, especially while making this video. So yeah, I'm probably gonna have them here on screen. Look at these. Look at these chads. Look at these. How can I compliment someone? Yeah, I'm not the greatest person at making stuff up at the spot. Swag people. That's good enough, right? Yeah. Again, thank you guys so much. Everybody else, thank you for watching till the end. Have a great morning, day, night. Yeah. I'll see you guys next time.